Welcome to Crotoni Entertainment. I'm Chris.
And I'm Bree.
And it's time for a battle report.
No.
Yep, it's a battle report kind of day. But you know what? I don't know what we want to play. We got several games going on. Yeah. So let's roll for it.
Okay.
So let's see what we're going to play today. We're going to leave out Crisis Protocol because we don't have full 10-man teams painted.
Yeah.
So we'll leave that out for now. But that leaves us kind of with three games that we've either been playing or been talking about. So we've got Freeblades, we've got Star Wars Legion, and we've got Age of the Grid.
Yeah.
Let's let the dice decide. We got a three-sided dice right here, a D3. Okay. So we'll call number 1, let's call that Star Wars Legion.
Okay.
We'll call number 2, Age of the Grid.
Yep.
And we'll call number 3, Freeblades for the first time on this channel.
Ooh.
Bree, why don't you decide what we're going to play today?
Oh, man. How am I going to lose today?
3. We're going to be playing Freeblades for the first time on this channel. So we'll get some stuff set up, and we'll be right back. Okay, we're all set up and ready to play some Freeblades today. This is not a game we've actually played on the channel before. This is a game that Bree and I are both big fans of.
Yep.
Haven't had a lot of chance to play it ever since really COVID kind of shut down gaming in the
which is silly
in one local gaming store. And actually, as far as I know, they're still not doing active gaming in that store. They've decided that all the extra space they got to put product in, they don't want to bring gaming back. So my understanding is they're not even doing gaming still. But anyway, we've got our board all set up. So Freeblades is played on a 4x4 board. The more terrain, the better in my mind. There are some actual guidelines for some of the scenarios and kind of how much terrain to place. For this specific scenario, for example, it says each player is going to be placing about 8 pieces of terrain. But in my mind, the more of a story you can make with a game of Freeblades, the better. And we're going to be playing a scenario called Beast Hunt. So there's 2 categories of scenarios in Freeblades. There's what you might consider, if you play other games, you might consider it kind of the competitive style of a scenario.
Right.
It's balanced. It's player versus player. It's kind of designed. It could be used easily in a competition.
Yep.
But Freeblades is a very narrative-driven, prone to campaigns, prone to cinematic elements as well. So there's a whole nother set of missions that kind of add in, not really goofy, but definitely goofier than standard stuff. So in this case, I mean, there's one where you chase around barnyard chickens. There's ones where you're searching for treasure with like 6 other people on the table. Right. This particular scenario is called Beast Hunt. So there's actually going to be a monster in the center of the table to start this game. And Bree and I are both going to be trying to kill this monster. Whichever one of us takes it down will win the scenario.
Kill the rabbit.
Kill the rabbit. Or if our free bands break, whoever does more damage to the monster has a chance of winning. We'll get into all that when we actually get to the end of the game. What's important right now is we have our cinematic scenario here.
And our cinematic board.
Yeah, our cinematic board here. So we kind of imagine kind of the story of what's going on here is over in that far corner over there. We have a ruined farm. It was probably destroyed by this beast that's gone crazy. So this is why some patron went out and probably found our free bands in a tavern and said, hey, I'll pay you to be the one to take it down. But both of us have been paid, so now we're competing to be the one who does it. But on the at this farm here, it was kind of at the edge of a forest area, so we have a little encampment over there. Over here, we've got a couple of structures with a well in it. Just a cinematic looking board. And dead center of the table is our beast. In this scenario, it's going to be called a young Grush. Because we are playing with a combined free band value of 300. And what that means is the combined gold crown totals of our forces is 300. Gold crowns being the equivalent of points in Freeblade. So we're going to each be playing a 150 gold crown or 150 point free band in this scenario for a couple of reasons. One, it's a great starting size for the game. Standard games of Freeblades are played at 250 or 275. This is going to be 150. This is also the size you get in a starter box. So if you were to pick up Freeblades and start playing it, you can get... actually, these are starter boxes. Both of these are a starter box. But if you pick up Freeblades and play it, you've got 150 guaranteed in your starter box. So that's what we're going to be playing with today. And we're also going to be playing with them because we have some very large... cards with the rules all printed out in these minis. I have not updated these cards actually in a couple of years, so there might be a rule or two or a number or two that is slightly outdated on the cards. We are playing with the most current version of the rule book, right? But the cards might be slightly outdated, so if you pick this up yourself and try to play it, you might go, oh, that rule doesn't exist, or that rule works a little differently. Well, it's because I haven't updated these cards. We're using them today for convenience sake, because it's been so long since Bree and I have had a chance to play. This is also kind of a refresher game for us, and we're going to get things wrong.
Absolutely.
And that's part of the fun of what's going on here. But anyway, our board is set. We're actually going to roll off to determine our free bands, since they're kind of pre-built. And then we'll do some pre-game rolling stuff to get us started. So the board is set. As far as items, I figure that pond over there we'll treat as an aquatic feature.
Cool.
Obviously. These forests here on the bases, we'll obviously treat those as forest bases. They have some special rules. All the other forests, I think we should treat them like we treated in Age of the Grid.
Okay.
The base itself is what you're going to get cover behind, not the width of the tree, just kind of an abstraction. But there's really not much this terrain is going to do too much in this game, because we're fighting the beast in the middle. We're not really fighting each other. So let's go show the free bands, then we'll do a couple of roll-offs to determine how this game's going to play out.
Works.
So the first free band we're playing with is the Urdaggar Tribes of Valor. This, to me, has a very Viking meets Native American vibe to it. Definitely kind of cool.
Some druidic.
Yeah, druidic, tribalism, some maybe some Gallic sort of, or Gallic, I guess, the Gauls of antiquity sort of thing. But anyway, we have our leader model here. This is our Wolf Carl with this big old chopping sword here. He's actually good at inspiring his troops to fight harder for him. We have our caster over here. This is a bear mystic. She has the ability to make the soldiers fight better, and then has kind of a neat element kind of hidden up her sleeve that we'll get to as the game kind of progresses. We've got a boar warrior who is kind of our beefy, tough charging monster. When he hits you on the charge, he has a chance to knock you down and make some bad stuff happen to you. Over here, we've got a primitive Wolverine here. This is the Berserker. His weapons aren't that powerful. He's just got a couple of hand claws, but he gets a lot of attacks. We've got a follower over here. So a follower is largely defined as a model that only has one wound for the most part.
Right.
This is a slinger. She's got a pretty weak sling, but it is a ranged weapon option that we've got built into the Erdogar here. And back here is the unproven. There's nothing to talk about with this guy. He's going to be forever unproven. It's kind of an ongoing joke in this house. The unproven will never prove themselves. But he's got a shield and a spear, but he's never proven himself. So this is the Urdaggar Tribes of Valor at 150 gold crowns. On this side, we've got a band of the Black Rose Bandits, led by the Black Rose herself. She's going to be a bandit leader. The bandits are unique in this game because they have an ability to ignore, I think it's called Hero's Honor. You think I'd look this stuff up before we play our game.
Or at least talk about it, yeah.
But basically there's a rule in Freeblades that says if a hero is in base contact with another hero, they have to target the hero in melee. So if there's a hero and a follower touching them, you can't voluntarily kill the follower just because they're easier prey. Bandits get to ignore that. That's kind of their faction special rule.
Yeah.
Whereas the special rule for the Urdaggar that we just showed you is they actually get higher morale while they're fighting you. They like it. It's good stuff. So anyway,
it's their good time.
So the Black Rose is quick. She's not well armored, but she's got good defense. She's very good at swinging her sword, and actually she has counterattack. So if she stands still and you charge her, she's going to be attacking first in melee. Supporting her, we've got a Shockrim Headhunter here. He's like a super cool lizard dude who just gets stronger the more damage he takes, and he's got a ton of life points. You've got the Duelist, who is a dual-wielding character here. He's got a sword and his dagger. You can see the dagger there. There you go. Now you can see the sword. He's actually very evasive. He has the ability to kind of hop out of danger, hop out of melee combat. He's just kind of a good, agile fighter. One of our followers is going to be a Rustler. He just kind of runs around and tries to whomp people. There's not much to say about the Rustler. We've also got a Outlaw Crossbowman. Again, a pretty weak ranged option because all followers roll smaller dice than other models.
Oh, yeah. Mine's never hit for much, ever.
But he's got the range, and it's always nice to have a range option in a force. Some people live and die by these ranged options. I have not seen them make too much difference in a game up to now. So that means today, obviously, they're going to make all the difference. And then finally, we've got our Enchantress, who's going to be the caster for the bandit faction. She's got an interesting trick up her sleeve, much like the Bear Mystic does over on the Urdaggar side. She's also incredibly agile. She has a rule called dodge, so even though she doesn't have much armor, she's got a high agility and has the way to jump out of the way of a lot of attacks. So these are our two factions. We're going to do two things before the game actually starts, one of which is actually part of the new game setup rules, and one of which is something we're doing just because these factions are preset. All right, we've got one more being to introduce, actually. This is the young Grush. This is what we're going to be hunting today on the field. Where he's standing doesn't matter that much. He stands in the middle of the table, but his facing is actually going to be determined before the game begins. But that's what we're trying to hunt down today. And since these Freeblades are pre-packaged and we didn't actually choose them ourselves, we're going to go ahead and roll off to see which one we take. This is not part of the normal game. We are doing this because of the Freeblades we have. But kind of your standard roll-off die in this game is going to be a 10-sided die. And a 1 is always a failure. It's called a torch. A 10 is going to cause a spike, and we're going to end up rolling the dice again if somebody rolls a 10, and you keep rolling until that stops being the maximum number. And that applies to pretty much all dice.
Yeah.
There are some that doesn't apply to. Like I'm 99% certain it hasn't been changed, and you don't spike flea rolls. Like when you roll a flea, you don't spike on that. But most of the dice in this game, if you roll the highest number, you're going to roll it again. So, Bree, let's roll a d10. And, oh, there's a statue that didn't make it into this game today. So let's go ahead and roll our die. So I got a 6, and Bree also got a 6. And
twinsies.
We're off to a good start here. So let's try that again. I got a 3, you got a 7. So, Bree, who do you want to play, the bandits or the Urdaggar?
I'm actually going to try the Urdaggar because I know how to play the bandits. So I want to try something new today.
So you actually want to try the Erdogar. Okay. So before determining deployment, we've determined the scenario. It's Beast Hunt, but we haven't determined deployment. So there's one more dice roll we need to make before deployment, and that's to determine the weather in today's battle. So, Bree, we need a D30 for this.
Ooh, where'd it go? There it is.
So this is a 30-sided die.
Look at it.
It's almost a golf ball.
Yeah. That has about the same weight. Okay, here we go.
29. So 29 on our chart is normal, weather, free, and clear. So nothing fancy in the weather table today. One last roll we're going to go ahead and make is another D10 roll. This is kind of an official roll. We're going to determine deployment. The player who rolls higher picks the side of the table they want to start on and deploys the first model. And then we're going to alternate models back and forth. And Bree's got some kind of red drink over there. So I got a 9 and you got a 5. Okay, well, so I'm going to be determining the side I want to...
9, 2, 5.
Well, Bree, just for that, I am going to stay on this side of the table because it's more spacious, and you were joking that there was no way you were going to get this side of the table. So I am going to stay here just to say no to you.
Just to punish me for singing?
So we're going to go ahead and do deployment off camera, just so you know what the deployment kind of is. You have 9 inches from your table edge into the battlefield for this scenario on either side, and you have the whole stretch across. That'll be the deployment zone for this scenario. We'll deploy off camera. We'll come back ready for turn 1. One last thing we're going to do before we show deployment is we're going to set the facing of the beast. So he has been placed in the center of the table, but this young Grush needs to face a certain direction. So to do that in Freeblades, we take an 8-sided die and we roll it, and wherever it lands, you follow the arrow that's kind of naturally made by the top of the die at the top of whatever number you roll. So generally speaking, you want to roll these as close to whatever you're randomizing as possible to get the most accurate read. So that's a 3, kind of points that way. So he's going to be facing pretty much dead to that side. Would you agree, Bree?
Yeah.
All right, we'll be back
with a drink.
Going for a drink. Well, he's actually, he is eating on turn 1. We'll talk about that when the game begins. Our board is set and ready for turn 1. Bear in mind, there is no turn limit on this game. This game is going to end when both Freeblades are broken. Or is it 1 or more Freeblades? You know, I should really check that. Game's going to end when some Freeblades are broken and when the young Grush has either killed us all or we have killed the young Grush. So as we mentioned, the young Grush is in the middle of the table. And over on Bree's side of the table, on her right flank, my left, we've got the Slinger coming out of the field there. The Bear Mystic and the Wolf Car hanging out nearby. The Berserker, he dropped his plow and has come to fight. Maybe this wasn't Urdaggar farm the whole time.
There you go.
We've got the Unproven kind of in the middle of the battlefield, kind of as close to possible with the young Grush. He's got something to prove today. And the Boar Warrior among the trees. Those trees aren't actually a forest because they're not actually a base, so he can move freely through those. On my side of the table here, on this left side, I've got my Chakram Headhunter. He is amphibious, so I kind of put him close to that pond. Maybe he can take advantage of that aquatic feature to be a little safer. On the other side of this wood here, kind of behind the big rock across from the Grush, is the Duelist with the Enchantress really close to him. And then over kind of in this other kind of town square area here, the Black Rose is with the 2 followers, the Rustler and the Outlaw. There are definitely some benefits to keeping your leaders nearby your followers, and those will come up as we play the game, I'm sure.
Yep.
So the first thing we need to do is we need to go ahead and roll to see who's going to control the Beast as the NPC player. So we'll roll near the Beast for that, which is a D10 roll. So we got a 9 here and a 10. Well, you can keep rolling that if you want, but you get no benefit from...
I got an 11.
All right, so you got an 11. I got a 9. So you're going to be the NPC player in the first turn.
Okay.
So go ahead and take that die. That's going to be for the Beast. And then we're going to roll for initiative for the first turn. So everybody needs a D10, you, me, and the NPC.
Okay.
And we're going to roll off these D10 to see who's going to have initiative in round 1. So I've got a 2. That's a good start for me. So the Beast has a 6 and Bree has a 4. So that's our events phase. There's no other events going on.
It's alphabetical.
It is. It is. So that's going to take us into the game. Ready for round 1. So let's go ahead and do round 1. The first thing we do after the events phase is going to be the magic phase. So in initiative order, the young Grush has no magic.
Nope.
So there'll be no casting from there. Bree, you do have a wizard in the Bear Mystic.
I do.
Do you want to cast a spell this turn? We're all pretty far away from each other.
I was going to say, it really...
Now, you need to pick your times to cast spells in Freeblades. Your wizard does start the game with only 15 power. And there are ways to prevent yourself from spending power throughout the game, depending on dice rolls. But there's really no, especially in this game, no way to earn more power.
Right.
So we only have 15 to work with the whole game. So knowing that, do you want to cast this turn?
No. No, I think I'm going to...
You're going to pass on cast.
Passed on casting.
I'm going to pass on casting as well this turn. So there's going to be no casting. So that takes us straight to the movement phase. So the Beast would actually go first. There is a set of NPC rules he would follow to move. But on turn 1 of a Beast hunt, the Beast always takes the hold action because he is he's either tired and resting or he's feasting on something that maybe he shouldn't have. Hopefully it's not the farmer. Hopefully it's the cows that were in the field.
It's a cow.
It might be the field. You wrecked up the fence over on your side of the table there. So straight. Come on, man. So it's going to go to Bree's turn. Bree's going to do all of her movement first.
Yep.
So Bree, go ahead and pick a model, and let's plan on moving it. And we'll kind of talk through the movement options while you're moving things.
Okay.
So you've got your standard move, which is most games would call it like a standard move. This game calls it a maneuver, where a model can move up to their speed in inches.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a charge, where you can move up to double your speed in inches. And you've got a sprint, which you can move up to double your speed in inches, but your facing at the end must be the same as the final 2 inches of movement. There are some other movement quirks in this game as well, but this is kind of a basic overview. So these are kind of the 3 that are coming to play mostly today. So where are we starting, Bree?
Well, I'm going to start over here. I'm going to figure out to start at this end of the table since I'm here.
So we've got our Slinger with a speed of 7, I assume.
Yep. She's got a speed of 7. And
which is kind of standard human speed without armor.
She's gonna...
So she's going to move up 7 inches. Is she going to do anything else or just stand there?
She is
So
going...
she's not going to sprint? You're not attacking yet.
Yeah, and her sling is only got a range of
18, I believe.
Yeah, oh, it does. Well, 18 at the furthest.
Yes, and we'll get to that in the shooting phase.
Yeah. We'll get to that. Yeah,
She's just going to do that maneuver?
She's going to do a single maneuver and be good.
Alright, so who are we moving next?
We're going to move our Berserker.
We're Berserker.
You know
So
what?
our Berserker actually has to charge if he can, but right now he can't, so.
He can't, but that doesn't mean he can't sprint.
This is true. And he's a speed of 7 as well, I believe.
Yes, he does.
So he can move up to 14 inches.
And he's going to do, it's not going to be quite 14, but he is definitely going to put himself right up there.
So it's about 12?
Yep.
All right, so now he has to face the direction
he started, right there.
Of the final 2 inches of movement. So you actually have 2 more inches left. You could move him 2 inches towards the beast and face the beast that way.
Yeah, I think I might.
You can eyeball 2 inches. We're not that worried about that here.
Oh.
So he'll face that direction. Okay, who's moving next?
Well, I'm going to sit. I sat. Okay, no dog. I'm not going to run anybody.
That is perilously close there. That's going to get interesting next turn, I think.
Oh, yeah. Listen. I'm going with the whole Viking...
All right, so where are we off to next?
We're going to come over here to the Proven.
The Unproven?
Because he...
Where's he hiding? There he is. So he's speed 7 as well, I believe.
Yes, he is. All of my guys, except, surprisingly enough, my leader, are 7. He's going to... what is his... Doesn't he have... Sorry, Sorry, America. So he just has a spear.
Does he have a magic helmet?
No, he does not. He just has a magic head of hair. You know what? Oh, that's gonna be real stupid. But, for the sake of us being on the interwebs, he's gonna run right at it because he's got something to prove.
He's gonna run right at it. Alright, so the beast is on hold. He can make a reaction to you if you were to charge it. But you're obviously not charging him.
No.
So I'd stay a little bit away from him, but yeah, run right at him.
Well, maybe... Nah, man, I gotta... 10. Yeah, we'll go 10. Go 10, and he's still facing that way.
We'll say good enough. So the beast is still hungry. He's just eating his thing. So who's going next?
He doesn't realize he's getting surrounded. And now we're going to come over here to the Warrior.
Warrior being our house slang for boar warrior.
And he's actually going to run up the full 13. No, 13. To give himself an inch at the end to kind of...
Oh, no, he's got to face that way. He's running.
He's running.
So he's got to face the direction of his final 2 inches of movement.
Okay.
So you can move 12 and pivot him. I got to get a better position on the camera here. I'm getting shaky cam. People are going to be like, Chris is terrible at this. We all know I'm terrible at this, guys.
Well, then I'll move 12, because that was actually about here then. And then I can go this way, right?
You can go 2 inches that way, face the direction you want. All right, and that leaves us with the Mystic and the Wolf Carl. So the Mystic, well, who are you doing next?
The Wolf Carl.
Okay.
And he can only move 6, actually. And he's going to come up 4 here, or 2. Nope, 3. And then he's going to pivot to go his extra 3 that way.
All right, he's not sprinting because he has an extra 6 inches if he sprints.
I do want him around. Because then he can do like the battle cries and stuff like that. Alright, yeah, and he'll do his... Now we'll go this way. Now he'll do his next 6. Going that way.
So we'll get him creak on the chair I'm sitting on here. All right, so the Wolf Carl is heading up right behind the Berserker. And where's our Bear Mystic?
And our Bear Mystic, who also can move faster than the Wolf Carl.
So she can actually run this turn, or sprint this turn, because she did not cast a spell. A wizard that casts a spell cannot charge or sprint.
She is going to actually come up about... She's going to come up 3 inches here. And she's going to do about the same thing, but put herself probably right at this, right here. So she can still cast spells as needed, but isn't right in the line of fire.
All right. So at the end of the turn 1 Urdaggar movement, I'm making noises with the chair here. We're looking something like this. So it's on to bandit movement here.
Bandits!
So I'm going to start over here with the chakra, and I'm going to have a great time doing this one-handed.
Why don't you maybe try something crazy and like pass the camera to me?
Oh no, this is way funnier. That was a tape measure in my mouth there for those of you playing at home. So we're going to start with the Chakram Headhunter, and he's actually going to run up...
In the splashy splish?
About 10 inches. Well, that's still his front arc, so yeah, he's going to run up about 10 inches, and then he's going to do very similar to Bree. He's going to use his last 2 inches, because he can run through it without penalty, being amphibious. So he's just going to run up to there. Mr. Duelist over here. Duelist is a speed of 7. Everybody I have is a speed of 7 as well, except for the Chakram, who's a 6. And the Black Rose herself, she is also a 6. So the Duelist is just going to maneuver 7 inches. He wants to keep his options open. I don't want to charge out into the view there. Mm-hmm. We have our Enchantress here, who has opted not to cast this turn. I don't think I actually said my casting intentions this turn. I think we just kind of moved past me. But I was not going to cast this turn. So we'll just move the Enchantress up a little bit. Now, my Crossbro over here. Crossbro! He's got the reload rule. So if he moves more than half his speed, he cannot shoot this turn. So the Outlaw is only going to move 3.5 inches. So he's just going to move up a little bit. He's going to have an obscured line of sight thanks to that tree, I think. But he's just going to move up a smidgen. While his boss, the Black Rose, is going to move up a bit past him. And this Rustler, who can move 7 inches, he's basically going to move up behind this tree. So at the end of this turn for me, we've got kind of 3 of our bandits floating around in the middle of the town square here. We've got our Enchantress behind this rock, the Duelist, and the Chakram. That will take us to the shooting phase. Shooting in Freeblades all occurs simultaneously, but you resolve it in the order of initiative. And that just makes things easier to do.
Yep.
And I almost have to... Yeah, I think actually you're going to get shot by the NPC this turn.
Am I going to get shot by the... Does the NPC have a shot?
Yes, actually. There are quills on a young Grush. And
rude.
So we resolve it in the order of initiative just for the purpose of rolling dice, but everything's resolved simultaneously. So you can't shoot somebody's shooter and not get shot back in the same turn, effectively, is what we're saying.
Is that what you were saying?
So the young Grush actually has tail quills. It's a 4, 8, 12 range weapon. So the young Grush actually will go first in the shooting phase. And it only works in the rear arc.
Okay.
So we kind of got to abstractitize a little bit. And I would say the Unproven is just a smidgen in the front arc. So it doesn't count as in the rear arc. It's more than half, but I'll have to look up the rule on it later. I don't remember if that would, count as rear or front. It doesn't matter. Because realistically... That's going to be the closest target.
All about
it's a range of 12.
Yeah.
So the tail quills are going to, by default, shoot the Boar Warrior. So, Bree, you're going to be rolling against yourself.
That's awesome.
And our actual distance is just a hair over 5 inches.
Okay.
So we have those bands. We have 4, 8, 12. If the quills were shooting at 4 inches or less, there would be no penalty. And between 4 and 8, it's a -1 to hit. And between 8 and 12, it's a -2 to hit. So the RAR, or the ranged attack rating, on a young Grush is a D6. So, Bree, you're going to take a 6-sided die. You're going to roll it against yourself, effectively.
That's not great.
So we're going to roll this.
It's
a 2, -1 for the range.
Right.
That's going to give us a 1. And then you compare that to your defense value. And if it meets or beats, it's a hit. So is your defense only 1, Bree?
No, it's a 4.
Okay, so that's not a hit. We can throw that away.
He's got them abs.
So, Bree, it's your turn.
Yep.
So you can take a shot if you so choose.
Do I have anybody who can... that is within...
Well, you've got your slinger here, who is within... She is at, looks like just a hair... Just about 15 exactly.
All right.
She's at just about 15. And she can draw... She actually can't... yeah, it's close enough. We won't deal with it this time. The Berserker's base is slightly in the way. You could make the argument that he's blocking and providing a little bit of cover. Generally, you draw an unobstructed line from base to base, but he's just out of the center line enough that I'd say no, it doesn't give cover. So go ahead and, if you want to take that shot, take that shot.
Okay, I'm going to do it. She is a D8. Oh, did you do it? D8. Now, obviously, it's at
She's a D. That's the damage. Look at your RAR.
My RAR. Oh, D6.
So, RAR, R-A-R, ranged attack rating.
Okay. So, it's a D6. It's a 4.
That's a 4, so it's definitely going to be -2. You're definitely in the far band. So you're looking at a 2, and the defense on a young Grush is not a 2. So you are going to miss that. It's actually a 4.
Okay, well.
So you're going to miss the young Grush. I do have a shooter over here.
Do you have a shooter?
I have my crossbow. Now my crossbow has a considerable range of 30.
Ooh. And that's at his furthest, if I remember correctly from...
It is. That's his biggest band. I'm making a lot of noise with the tape here. It's actually slightly even longer than this. I only got this to 29. I actually could go ahead and shoot the Unproven, or I could shoot the Grush. Bree and I have kind of made a gentleman's agreement to focus on killing the beast rather than killing each other today. We probably will make some attacks on each other as the game goes on, but we kind of made a gentleman's agreement not to make that our primary goal. A lot of our games of Freeblades devolve into saying, screw the objective, let's murder each other, because that's a happy marriage.
Hey, gotta figure out some way to work through your issues.
I will say the tree base is obscuring. I am just under 15 inches away. I will say the tree base is obscuring just enough to give a cover penalty. So that actually will give a +1 to the defense of the Grush. Or you could say it's a -1 to my hit. It really works mathematically out the same way. But my range bands are 10, 20, 30. So I'm actually only at a -1 for range band. I'm at a -1 for the cover. And I'm rolling a D6. So let's grab a D6 here from our pile. I rolled a 6, so that is the highest number on that die. It's a spike. I'm going to roll it again.
Yeah.
So I rolled a 9. 9 minus 2 is 7. Actually, I'm sorry. 9 minus 1, because I'm only suffering, and I moved, so that is 2. 9 minus 2 is 7. The Grush's defense is effectively 5 because of the cover, but 7 still beats a 5. And Bree's looking at me like, why are you going through all this? I'm going through all this for the people who've never seen this game before.
I'm here for it.
So the armor value on a Grush is a 4. So I'm going to go ahead and look at my RW value, and I'm going to put these up on the screen, although you've been seeing them on the screen if you've been watching the game so far. This is a D8 damage weapon. So I go ahead and pull this out, and I grab my D8, and I'm going to roll this, and I need to meet or beat the Grush's armor value to do a point of damage. And that is a 4.
That is meat.
4 is equal to 4, so that actually does a damage point to the Grush. The Grush, however, does have Die Hard 2.
Oh.
Meaning for the first 2 times it gets damaged in a turn, it gets to take an endurance check. And if it rolls a 7 or higher, it gets to shrug those off. So it is Die Hard 2 at endurance 10. So Bree, go ahead and roll a D10 and see if it shrugs this damage.
Oh, wait. I'm going to use his. Hold on. I'm going to be right about this and use his. That's a 1.
That's a Tarch. So
yeah.
that is going to be a pip of damage. We'll go ahead and put that on the Grush. The Grush has 6 life points. It now has 5 life points remaining, and I am currently up 1-0 in the Grushing murder count. And what I'll do is
I guess we just have to start killing you.
Oh no. Well, the count only matters when the Grush actually goes down.
That's true.
But anyway, that's the end of the first turn because there is no melee going on. So we'll go ahead and kind of make sure the board state, well, the board state is pretty cleaned up, but this is a good place to kind of make a quick stop, kind of give you a chance to pause the video if you want, and then we'll come right back with turn 2 in just a second. Okay, going into turn 2, I'm pretty sure since nobody's had anybody dropped, we should be re-rolling to see who controls the NPC, but really there's no tactical decisions to be made with this particular NPC, so it doesn't matter. We'll just leave Bree in control of it for now. So let's go ahead and roll initiative. So I got a Tarch. Oh, Bree spiked it. Roll it again. So Bree got a 12, the Grush got a 9, so you did not crit. So in this game, actually, if you beat a target number by 10 or more, you get the benefits of a critical. And they do different things depending on what's going on. Well, there's 3 of us rolling, but you go by the next highest, and you did not crit against the Grush, so you don't get the benefits of it. But I'm going dead last with that Tarch there. So that's where we stand with that. So Bree, you're going to be going first. The Grush will be going second, and I will be going last.
Yeah.
So let's go into the magic phase. Your Bear Mystic gets to cast first if you choose to cast this turn. Would you like to cast?
Yeah, I think I might cast. And I'm going to cast. So my magic has a range of. It doesn't say. Line of sight.
18 inches is your standard range.
Standard range for that is 18 inches. Cool, 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 cool. So I'm going to cast, because this is about to get stupid. And she doesn't necessarily have to have direct line of sight, correct?
You do need line of sight, but for buff spells,
yes,
friendly models do not block.
Okay, cool.
For debuffs, friendly models do block. Yeah, if you're trying to hit an enemy.
Right. No. Yeah, I'm going to cast Raging Fury on my Berserker.
Okay, so how many powers that costing you?
That costs me 1 power.
Okay, and what's it do?
And the target model gains a power attack.
Okay.
So that will certainly help him in his desire to do something with those dire claws of his.
Okay, so let's roll it up. So take your power out of your pool.
I did.
And go ahead and take your D10. And all spells in this game, unless listed otherwise, are cast on a 2+.
Yes.
So your caster rating is the dice size you roll. Your caster rating is a D10. You roll a D10. You got a 7.
Yep.
Now your opponent would have the opportunity to counterspell. The Grush does not have a counterspelling ability. And I am actually too far away. We'll get into the specifics when it actually comes up.
Are you going to try to block one of my spells?
Probably not, but maybe.
Bro.
So you've got that spell on you. Go ahead and place something on you to kind of remind yourself of that.
Yep.
And a caster can cast 1 spell per turn, so that would be all the spells you get to cast this turn.
So he now has some awesome power attack. I don't know what power attack does, but it'll be entertaining.
So Bree's going to read up on power attacks while I go ahead and cast my spell. I'm going to go to the Enchantress here, and the Enchantress is going to attempt to cast a Spirit Warrior. So that's going to cost 3 of my 15 power. So we'll go ahead and take my power tokens and dump them here. And this is going to summon a Spirit Warrior model to the table who will last for the duration of this turn. It casts on a 4+ because it is a summoning spell. So my caster rating is a D10, so I take a 10-sided die. And I roll a 9, so I did summon a Spirit Warrior. I assume you don't want to mess with that.
I'll let you have your extra body. Kind of body?
I mean, it's kind of for all of us, really. So it has to be within 6 inches of me and more than 6 from an enemy. I think probably there. So I'm going to mark right there. Bree, can you reach over and kind of mark that?
No. You said you could do it all with one hand.
All right, fine.
No. I'm coming.
Fine, here we go. I'm marking it there.
Oh, my God.
That. I'll mark that. There we go. See? That's what I deal with around here, guys. So actually, it'll be just past that die, and that die will be the corner, basically. So we're going to place our Spirit Warrior.
Huzzah!
Right there. He's going to join us for the duration of this turn. So we go into movement. Bree, you have the movement.
I do have the movement.
So who's going first?
I'm going to start off with, to just get this all rolling, Greg. Right? The Berserker is going to charge the young Grush.
All right. And before you make any moves in this game, models that are eligible for reactions get to make them. In this case, the Grush has not moved yet. It has not done anything that would prevent a reaction, so the Grush can react, and NPCs will react with a countercharge if charged. So the Grush will declare a countercharge. So you got to determine how far each model is actually going to charge, because to actually get the benefits of a charge in this game, you have to travel at least 3 inches. So Bree,
right.
What's the distance between the two of you?
The distance between the two of us is a whole whopping...
Looks like 4.5-ish inches?
Yep, give or take.
So,
5-ish.
So you can do most of this in your head, or you can do it the complicated way. The complicated way would literally be taking turns to move an inch at a time until you make contact. So the Grush's speed is 6. Your speed is 7, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
So you would move 1.5 inches for every inch the Grush moves.
Okay.
So to do a little quick math, you're 4.5 away.
Yes.
So you would move 1.5 inches. That puts you at 3.
Yeah.
Then the Grush would move 1 inch. That puts you at 2. Then you would move 1.5 inches. That puts you at 1/2 inch away. The Grush would move 1/2 inch. So you are going to move 3 inches. The Grush is not. Now, you don't have to sit there and measure that on the table. You can be more abstract and just say, we meet in the middle. So now we know that Bree will get the benefit of the charge. The Grush, however, will not.
Yes.
All right, so who's moving next?
Okay, and now that that's happened, I'm going to have my Unproven also.
Is this going to be a dog pile?
Yeah.
Sorry, do you have to take a fear check on your Berserker? Because that is a fearsome creature.
He's also fearsome.
Okay, so I do believe that makes you immune to fear.
It is because I am bold. Oh,
yes, you ignore the effects of fearsome enemies when you are fearsome.
Well, wait, do I have to declare that I am frenzied?
No, you are frenzied.
I'm always frenzied.
Yes.
Okay, because I am bold, which means I don't take fear tests, and fear treats tests caused by terrifying creatures as, it affects as fear.
Correct. All right, who's moving next?
I'm going to go with the Unproven. Because, like I said, you got something to prove. And he is just going to also charge right into...
So I have to charge in a straight line, but with where the Grush is standing at this point, that should put your charge in the rear arc, which means the Grush will not be able to attack the Unproven this turn.
I can just stab him in the butt.
That's a huge benefit. So you move straight forward, and it looks like you have exactly 3 inches. So you'll get exactly your charge bonus.
Boom. I also charged in.
Okay, where else are we going?
It's gonna be... By Jinkies, he can do it. He can do it as well.
Of course you can. You just charge it a slight angle like here, and you'll hit him in the rear as well.
Yep, and so...
Alright, so Boar Warrior's going to charge, and that Boar Warrior has a special rule when he charges.
Yes, he does.
So why don't you go ahead and pull that up, and I'll move your minion for you.
Okay, he has Wild Charge. Model may add a plus D4 to a charge or pursuit. Must pursue when all surviving enemies panic.
Not relevant here.
Not relevant. I also have Bulrush.
That's the relevant one.
Yep. This model may force an opposed strength test on any model with which it is engaged and in contact through its front facing on a turn in which it counts as charging. If this model wins, the enemy model is -1 dice level to its Mar until the end of the turn.
Mm-hmm.
If the test is a critical success, unlikely with my rolling, the enemy model is knocked down. The test may also be forced on models of the same base size or smaller.
All right, so go ahead and roll up against yourself here. The Grush is a hero, so his strength is going to be a D8 unless otherwise noted.
And mine is a D8 because that's my ability.
And it doesn't say, you don't have an STR stat on your card there?
No, I don't.
Nope, okay. So by default, followers have a D6, heroes have a D8, leaders have a D8 plus 1. And then sometimes you'll have a specific attribute like endurance or strength or knowledge called out to give you a bigger dice roll.
I do have an endurance.
No, endurance doesn't matter here. We're doing strength.
Yeah.
So go ahead and roll an opposed strength test against yourself since you're the NPC player.
And it's ability, right?
So there you go. There's a D8 for the Grush.
All right, here we go. This is going to be the D8. Why did I grab it?
Because believe it or not, the Grush only has a D8. He's got an endurance of D10. He's got a spirit of D12, but...
Aw, that's kind of cute. He and the Boar Warrior are almost twinsies.
I'll have to actually look up a couple rules here later because I forgot what a couple of these do. So the Grush actually wins, so nothing happens.
Yeah, nothing happens.
All right, so where are we moving next?
Okay, so now that we got all that craziness going on over there,
the Wolf Carl probably cannot get a straight line in this turn.
No, well, not to mention he can only charge 6, so I doubt.
He charges 12. He charged double.
Oh, that's true.
But you got to go in a straight line on a charge, so I don't think he's got it this turn.
So he is.
But I'm sorry, you do need to take a fear check on the Unproven and a fear check on the Boar Warrior.
All right, fear check on the Unproven. His ability is a D6.
Nope, you roll. Yeah, well, you roll specifically your discipline value.
Where's his discipline value? Oh, D6. Ah.
So you're gonna roll D6, and your goal is to get a 4 or higher. If you are within 6 inches of a model with the leader special rule, you can use their stat, and you are not. So roll your D6. You're looking for a 4.
Got a 5.
5. He's good, and the Boar Warrior.
Warrior.
Look at his discipline.
No, not the Boar Warrior. On the Berserker.
No, the Berserker's immune.
Oh, that's the Boar Warrior. Let me just make sure.
Is he fearsome?
Yeah, yes, because he is bold.
So then he can ignore it. All right, where else we going?
Our Jarl over here, getting all my Skyrim feels on, he's actually going to come up to about here on this fight, because my goal is for him to be able to use his...
Bree's throwing her cards.
He has Battle Cry.
So he gives your boys additional morale.
They may make actually a free move directly toward this model. So he may be able to pull everybody up.
Alright, so you can pull your other guys, okay.
Non-feral models within 6. Yeah, that doesn't do anything good. He does have mighty, and okay, cool. And he's also fearsome. That's fun.
Yep.
Alright, and so last...
We got a Bear Mystic, and we got a Slinger.
The Slinger's gonna saunter. She's not,
Maybe a good turn for her to take some pot shots at my guys.
Why would she... We're not gonna treat this like that yet.
I mean, we're not friends, but we're not enemies. And the Bear Mystic.
And the Bear Mystic is also going to kind of just follow the leader up this way. She's not ready to...
Kind of getting crushed up in the center there. I like it.
Yep, it's all probably going to go horribly for them.
Alright.
Since you guys are all standing in the back here.
So that's all your movement. So it goes to the Grush. He's not moving because he's engaged in the combat.
Yes.
On my move, my Chakram Headhunter will be charging out of the pond. Because we're not going to let you have all the fun.
Oh.
So he'll be charging out of the pond. He definitely gets the charge bonus. And the Chakram Headhunter, he is furious, he is bloodstruck, he is tough, and he is amphibious. But he is not fearless or fearsome. So he's going to roll a D8. And this is where somebody will fail this test and will all laugh at me.
Like
and he failed the test, so we can all laugh at me. So he is fearsome, or he is afraid.
He's feared.
He has -2 dice levels to Mar in this combat. I think there might be another effect too, but that's the important one. That's the one that matters. Okay. Well, that's not fantastic. We'll go ahead and move up with our duelist over here.
Yep.
He's going to kind of move up 7, and he can run if he wants. He can
run if you want to.
He's actually going to move 7 that way, just kind of get himself to position for... Oh, no, he'll kind of put himself there. We'll go over here to my Wizzy. My Wizzy Wiz is just going to chimichanga over there.
Wait, what? Bro.
Oh, man, I knocked your dudes over.
Bro.
My Rustler's going to run. He's going to run out 4 inches. He'll have 10 inches left to continue running. He can't charge because I didn't have clear line of sight to you at the start of this. But I can run up to there. The Rose is going to run up as well. She's going to stop a little shy. So she'll stop over there. The crossbowman, he could shoot into that combat, but he's not going to this turn. He's just going to move less than 7 inches this way to give himself an opportunity for next turn.
Well, wait, are you sure you don't want him to?
I'm sure I don't want him to.
Because it would be real entertaining.
Well, it no longer randomizes.
Oh, it doesn't?
Yeah, it no longer randomizes.
Oh.
But my Spirit Warrior is the last one. He's a speed of 6, so he can charge up to 12. I'd say he's got 12 inches there, no issue.
Yep. So
he's going to charge in as well. The Spirit Warrior does not care about the fearsome value.
Because he's the Spirit Warrior.
Because he's not real. He's a ghost man. Ghost man! So he does not cause morale traps when he gets dropped. He does not count towards breaking. He does not take morale checks. He's just a ghost man. So that's all he does. And we have scrummed in the middle of this, and that leads us to the shooting phase. And Bree, do you want to shoot anybody this turn?
No.
All right. I moved my crossbowman too far, so I'm not eligible. And the Grush is not eligible to shoot because he's in melee. So now we go to the melee. And we resolve this melee in a pretty strict order. So obviously, we have one giant combat going on here.
Yeah.
The Grush moved as a counter reaction, so it can't change facing to fit more people in. So it's got 2 models in its front arc. And now we go in initiative order. Oh. So basically, the order of combat is models with counterattack go first. Then models that charged go next in descending initiative order. Then models go in regular initiative order. So we have a lot of chargers here. So I can tell you that my initiatives, your initiative is your DISC, your discipline value. That's your initiative. Mine are 10 and 6. So I have 10 on the Chakram and 6 on the Spirit Warrior. And I think yours are 10, 10, and 6.
Well, I have... And I don't think anybody's feral right now. Nobody's feral. But he is within 6 of all of my guys. So they're going to use his because he has the leader ability.
Okay, what's it read specifically?
Non-feral models within 6 inches may use this model's disc for all disc tests.
And this is not a disc test. This is initiative. So it does not apply here.
Oh, poop-a-doop. Well, that
would be for like running away tests and stuff like that.
Damn it. I'm just making sure there's nothing here that helps me.
I don't think there is.
There's... Nope. Okay. There's not.
It's good. This is good radio.
This is great radio.
All right.
Woo!
So I think you've got a
D6,
10 on your Berserker.
D10. I have.
All right. So the Chakram, the Berserker, and the Boar Warrior are all actually attacking simultaneously. Obviously, we're all only touching the Grush, so that's all who we're targeting.
Right. So
they're all going to resolve at the same time. But go ahead and do them model by model, and since you have initiative, resolve your models first.
Okay, so the
Berserker.
The Berserker rolls a 10.
Well, hold on. What are you rolling for?
I thought we were rolling for initiative.
No, we don't roll initiative. It's in descending order, and then they go simultaneously if we tie.
Well, what are we doing then?
We're fighting.
Oh, I'm fighting.
Resolve your attacks. So the Berserker actually has 3 attacks.
He does have 3 attacks, and they are all D10s.
All right, so here's my. You can take my D10 and take a Grush's D10. So you actually have 3 attacks. You have 2 base plus 1 for your frenzy. And
and I have my power attack.
And normally, while Bree's looking at power attack, normally with this many models on top of the Grush's defense would actually drop to accommodate the number of models touching it. The Grush is tenacious and does not suffer that effect.
So power attacks, by the way, means that my defense drops for my Berserker to add 2 dice levels to his melee damage rolls. So I'm actually, for him...
Or melee damage rolls, not melee hit rolls.
Okay, round damage.
Got to do our hit rolls first.
Okay.
So our hit rolls is our MAR value, or our melee attack rating, versus the enemy's defense. So this is 3d10s, and it looks like 2 of the 3 are going to hit.
Yep.
And normally you kind of roll these one by one, but we're just doing them all together for
ease,
basically. So then look at your MW value. That's your melee weapon. That tells you your damage.
Yep. So it's 1d6 plus 2.
So it's actually so it's d10 because you're plus 2 dice levels, right?
Yes.
So a dice level versus a +1 versus a +1 dice level. A +1 gives you +1 to your roll. A +1 dice level means you roll a bigger die. So if you're a d6, you go to a d8. If you're a d8, you go to a d10. So in this case, it's +2 dice levels. So you're going to be rolling d10s for damage.
Right.
And you're going against armor 4. So these are d10 plus 2. It's d10 plus 1 for the weapon, plus an additional +1 for charging. So I see a 9
and a 5.
So that's an 11 and a 7. Neither one of them are 10 higher than the armor, so that just does 2 damage. Go ahead and roll 2 die hard rolls. So
die hard is a
d10 for this creature, and on 7s it passes. So it passes neither of them. So it takes 2 more damage, and it has no more die hard this turn. So it's up to 3 damage. And Bree has done more damage to it than I have at this point. So let's do your Boar Warrior.
Warrior!
And he has 1 attack.
Yes, he has 1 attack. It's a d10.
Mm-hmm. So roll it up. You're looking for a 4 or better.
I did 3.
So he misses.
He misses.
So we go to the Chakram.
Yep.
The Chakram is normally a d10.
But he's...
Emphasis on normally because he's afraid right now. So he goes -2 dice levels. So you'd go -1 to a d8 and -1 more to a d6. So he's got 1 attack at a d6. I need a 4 or better. That's a 5. So that's a hit. So he hits with his falchion. And his falchion is a d8 plus 1 damage normally. He did charge, so it's a d8 plus 2. That is a 6 plus 1 is a 7. That is a damage. There's no more die hard out there.
Plus 2.
Oh, sorry, that's an 8. Doesn't really matter. That's still not a critical. That is 1 more point of damage.
There you go.
So he's up to 4 already. He's almost dead.
All right.
Surprisingly easy beast hunt.
And now, my Unproven.
So your Unproven and my Spirit Warrior are both d6. They actually strike simultaneously here.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll yours because you had initiative just to make it easy. So what's your MAR value?
My MAR value is a d6.
So you're fishing for a 4.
I am fishing for a 4. Here we go. That's
a hit.
That works. And his long spear does a d8 SO, which means he has standoff.
Standoff's not relevant here. Standoff just gives you counterattack if you're standing still.
So now I need my d8.
And +1 because you charged.
Right.
That's a torch.
Yes,
that's a torch. That's a 1. You don't even get the pluses for that.
That's
See, forever Unproven. So your
Unproven.
So your D6 MAR value is shamed by the ghost who has a D8 MAR value. I'm fishing for a 4. That is a 6.
Yeah.
So that is a hit. My spear does D8 plus 1 because of the charge. So D8 plus 1. I'm fishing for a 4. So that's a 6 plus 1 is 7. That's another damage.
Oh, now you beat me.
The Grush has 1 point of life left. And everybody's made their attacks except the Grush. The Grush gets to go back now. He has
I think that means he attacks you because you did the most damage, doesn't it?
He has tusks that he can only use when he charges. And he has 2 claws at a D10. He actually randomizes them.
Oh, yeah. Now I see how it is.
So let's go ahead and take...
First claw?
Yeah, let's high-low it. Do you want to be high or low?
Low.
Okay, so just roll the dice, see who he hits first.
Okay.
So 1 through 5 is you, 6 through 10 is me. So this will target me.
Yep.
And so it'll target the chakram, so go ahead and roll to hit. And it's a D10 to hit. 7, that definitely hits. And it's a D8 plus 1 damage. And my armor is a 4. That's an 8, so that does a point of damage to my chakram. So we'll pop that there.
That actually is good for him.
It is. Now he's actually going to get stronger.
Yep.
And then you're
before.
Wrong game.
Oh.
So randomize the other one. So we have 1 more. Roll a D10. High, low again. Low is you. This one attacks me as well. It's a D10 to hit. This was rigged. That does not. That does not hit actually.
Nope, that does not.
So we get to the end of the combat, and obviously our combined side has won the combat. We've both done 2 damage, me and you.
Yep.
The Grush did 1, so the Grush definitely didn't win the combat. So you and I are actually not taking tests. What's interesting here, and I didn't think to look this rule up before we played, the NPC is effectively a third player.
Yeah.
If one of us had done like 3 wounds and the other one had done 2, I don't know what that means for the combat winning. Like if we did more damage to the Grush, does that make the other people run away? I don't actually know. Anyway, it doesn't matter because it didn't come up. So this combat actually continues into the next turn. All of those charge markers will go away.
Yep.
My fear token will go away. That will actually end this turn, so we'll go ahead and clean up the board, and we'll come back with the start of turn 3. This is the fastest game of Freeblades I've ever played as far as turns.
Yeah, legit.
Usually I'm used to seeing these going into like 6 to 9 turns. We're starting turn 3, and the beast is almost dead. But now might be a good time for you and me to try to pull the other one off the beast to steal that last damage. But anyway, we'll come back next turn. All right, we've cleaned up our table here from last turn. As you see, the Spirit Warrior has gone back to the Nether Worlds. I tried to combine Nether and Ether there.
That was weird. The Nether Worlds.
The Nether Worlds. So we've got our 5 wound tokens. We've kind of split them on the Grush so we can see who caused them. That's not right, is it?
What?
Oh yeah, because my spirit did it. That's right. So we're ready to go into the next turn. So. Bree, let's roll our initiative here.
Okay.
Where's our D10s? Here we go.
I got mine. I got the Grushes.
So, I got a 9 this time.
Oh, look, you might be able to do something.
Oh, thanks. And of course, you got a 9 and the beast got an 8. So you and I are rolling off. So you're going to go before me. So it'll be you, me, and then the beast.
And then the beast.
All right. So you go first.
Kill the beast.
You get your magic face.
Magic. I am going to once again do Raging Fury. I'm going to go for that again. Get me another power attack for my Berserker. So I will spend my power. And
don't roll a 1.
Don't roll a 1 on a D10, correct?
Mm-hmm.
There it is. Do. That's a 9.
So that's going to go off. So you're going to put your little token back there again.
Yep, put my little token.
Well, I'm going to be equally boring in the magic phase. I'm going to pull up my 3 power again, and I'm going to try to bring back the Spirit Warrior again, because that guy's boss. So put up my 3 power here just in case. And I need to roll my my 4+. I flew too close to the sun. There'll be no spirit this turn. That's just a waste of 3 power because that is a torch.
You don't have spirit. Yes, you do. You don't have spirit. How about that? That didn't work out.
That is most unfortuitous. Most unfortuitous. And the Grush does not have
no.
a Kajigger. All right, your movement.
Okay. Well, we're going to start over here with the Slinger. And she's actually going to, I really should have considered this part of it, because apparently Chris tells me that there are people who plan these things out before they start the camera rolling. I don't get that at all.
Lame. Oh, by the way, I did check some rules off camera. I think we did screw up the Grush.
Yeah.
We screwed up a couple of things on the Grush. We screwed up a couple of things overall so far. But we knew that was going to happen.
But everybody knew that.
We are. Actually, well, it didn't matter. Your guy, your Berserker needed 1 more ½ an inch to actually get the charge thing. There's actually a chart in the thing.
You don't know him.
We screwed that up.
You don't know what he needs.
We screwed that up. And actually, the Grush might have been allowed to turn to face more models last turn, but he can do it during this turn, so it doesn't make that much of a difference.
All right, and I'm going to come up about here. Here's the tree, and there I am. So I got a wee bit of cover right there.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So you've also got the
everybody there is obviously staying in combat. The Jarl is actually going to let his warriors do the worrying.
The warrioring.
Yeah.
The wugga 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 wugga.
And he's going to use his 6 inches to kind of saunter over here.
So he's kind of staying out of the fight, huh?
Yeah, he's, like I said, he's gonna let them. I mean, the beast is almost dead.
Okay. And the bear mystic, is she doing anything?
She's not very strong.
Well, she cast a spell, so I don't think her little dance moves work.
No, she can't do her dance, because that's a hold action. So yeah, she's not gonna stay right where she is. She's not gonna move at all. She's gonna just chill out. Chilling right there near the ruined farmhouse. I'm gonna assume lulling its spirits and kind of smudging the area out.
Okay.
Deal with the death.
So okay, we'll go to me now.
Yep.
And I'm gonna.
What you gonna do?
I gotta make this interesting for the people.
Is that the excuse that you're gonna use for yourself?
It's betrayal time.
Betrayal.
I can draw a straight line to him from the rustler. The rustler is going to charge the unproven.
That is rude.
The unproven may turn to face him if you so choose. Remember, we have to break off combats in the melee phase.
Yeah, okay. Okay. I'll turn and face you. Be like, betrayal with my spear.
What about your spear and magic helmet?
I don't have a magic helmet. I have a magic helmet of hair.
A magic helmet of hair?
Yeah, it's helmet hair.
I'm going to move these tokens here because now you've made me angry. The black rose is going to charge the... I caught a tree. I'm a lumberjack. Black rose is going to charge in.
We're so professional over here at Crotonian Entertainment.
So the black rose charges in. She does have to take a fear check here. She is going to be a D12 discipline because she is a leader, and it's a +1 because she's a leader.
I'm so sorry, love.
That's unbelievable.
You and dice, man.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's a failed morale. That's a failed fear check. That's
bad.
Did not see that.
Oh my God.
I'm trashing everything.
You've knocked over everyone.
I'm so mad. I'm so mad right now. The duelist is going to charge your berserker.
Charge my berserker?
Betrayal. How we didn't think these bandits would betray us. Now, you may turn the berserker to face the duelist, should you so choose.
Nah.
You're going to break off from the Grush.
Oh. Do I want to use my power attack on you or the Grush?
You won't be able to attack the Grush. That's going to break off. Because you have to try to individualize combats in this game, remember?
Oh, yeah. All right, fine. I'll turn and I'll smack you around.
I believe it.
Because I got power attacks. What do you got?
Apparently a lot of failed fear checks. Do you cause fear?
Yes.
Son of a gun.
That's the Berserker, right?
Yeah.
He is fearsome, yes.
Of course he is. Why wouldn't he be? Well, I'm going to move the Enchantress real quick, and then we'll deal with the fearsome. So I get to use the Black Rose's discipline because
that worked out real well.
I know, right?
Oh, there you go.
Hey, I passed that one on an 11. Not the guy I should be afraid of, but here we are. Anyway, the Enchantress moves slightly, and this crossbow did not. So this crossbow is going to kind of do his thing. So we're going to go to a shooting phase, I think, at this point. Mm-hmm. So you get to shoot first, my dear. Oh, I'm sorry. The Grush does get to move.
Oh, yeah.
His goal, he is going to try to move to engage as many models as possible. So in this case, he would just pivot in the combat to get all three of these guys in his front arc.
Okay. Oh, okay. That's not great.
And actually, I think we screwed up. I think we actually got a bonus attacking his rear last turn, but it didn't matter because it was Tarches that were the failures, so it wouldn't have helped.
Yeah.
All right, so shooting phase. You have priority on that. Well, it's identical, but you have priority.
Okay. I am going to check something real quick and see where you're at. There's my... So you are still, thankfully, within my line of sight.
Oh, you're going to shoot into the combat?
No. Well, I guess it's going to be a new combat because you decided to charge.
It's still a combat.
I've made up a story in my head.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So, see, the Berserker is the Slinger's brother.
What?
And the duelist decided to charge her brother, so she's going to help her brother out.
Oh, okay. So shooting at an engaged model. If a ranged attack that is made against an engaged model misses, no other effects occur unless it's an attack that's an AoE, in which case it scatters as normal. So you're just going to take a shot at him. You are going to suffer a penalty for shooting at an engaged target. It is a -4.
What?
It's always been a -4.
So
you know this, and you moved as well, right?
Yeah.
So you're actually at a -5 to shoot the duelist in the butt, and he has got a defensive 5.
So there's no point in doing this.
Oh, roll some 6s, man. Just roll better. Just get good.
Just get good.
Just get good.
Okay. No.
That was close to a 6.
Yeah,
That was
almost a 6.
Well, see, my crossbow actually is actually going to shoot your boar warrior in the hiney.
Bro!
So I'm with you. I need some 6s here as well. So it's unlikely. Got to keep it interesting for the people. The people! Nope.
That's 2.
Sorry, the people.
We apologize to people.
All right. So we got combat time.
Yep.
So the first thing we need to do at the melee phase is split off the combats. And the way you do that, you strive for as many one-on-ones as possible. So in this case, we've kind of already talked about it. The Berserker was touching the Grush and the Duelist, but the Duelist was touching nobody else. So he would actually pull his opponent off and make a separate combat.
Yep.
Over here, same thing between the Rustler and the Unproven.
No, my Unproven.
And the rest would remain one big combat. So, Bree, you had initiative over me, so you decide which combat gets resolved first.
I'm going to start with the Berserker, because he's kind of become my favorite. I'm real proud of him.
So the Duelist is going to go ahead and strike before the Berserker does. So the Duelist has a couple of options, actually, because he's got a Parry Dagger. So he can choose not to attack with the Parry Dagger to raise his defense, or he can make an attack that doesn't do damage and instead raises the mar of his sword. Well, in this case, you have a power attack. What's your defense normally?
My defense normally is a 4.
And what's your armor?
My armor value is a 3.
Okay. And I don't think you decide if you're power attacking just yet. I think it happens in initiative order. We're gonna call this a technical difficulties. We got to check something that actually makes a big difference. We'll be right back.
Well,
okay, so this is kind of an interesting one because step 3 of the combat resolution order, the players identify how many option talents will be employed. We both have an option talent, and here's what's kind of interesting about this one. Bree has initiative on the turn. I have initiative on the combat. So which one of us has to declare first? I think I do because I have initiative on the combat because I charged. Mm-hmm. So I am going to go ahead and use my Parry Dagger just as a stabbing knife.
Okay.
So that's all I'm going to do with it.
Okay. Well, I'm going to stab you with power attacks in the face when it's my turn.
Okay, so you are going to power attack. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be rolling 1 attack with my sword at D10. And I'm going to be rolling 1 attack with my Parry Dagger at D10 as well. And they're both +1 to damage because I charged. So what is your new defense with your power attacking?
It's a 2.
Defense 2. Okay. So here's my sword. That's going to hit.
Yeah.
It's only 7 points above yours, so it's not a critical.
Okay.
I'll roll damage because I think this is the actual order we're supposed to do this in. So damage is D8 +1 because I charged. That's an 8. I'm going to roll that again.
Could you don't?
That's a 6. So that's a 14 +1 is a 15. So that actually does beat your armor by 10 or more because your armor's 2. And I rolled a 15.
No, my armor's 3.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sir.
15 still beats 3 by 10. So you're actually going to take 2 damage from that hit.
Okay.
And I think you have 3 life points.
I do.
So we'll put 2 damage there. And then we'll go to the Parry Dagger. So the Parry Dagger is 1 attack at D10. And that is going to roll a 10. So it's going to spike. We're going to roll it again. It's going to be a 19. So that is going to critical. Because it is more than 10 of your defense. A critical on a hit auto spikes the damage. Mm-hmm. So the damage is only a D4. I've already rolled a 4 because of the crit. And that I don't get to keep that, even though it was a 4. It didn't hit the box. So that's a 4 as well, so we're up to 8.
Did you microwave your dice?
This is your dice. That's a 4 + 4 + 2 is 10, +1 from the charge. That's an 11. Yeah. That's not a critical, but that is another life point of damage.
He did.
And I do believe that just kills him.
Yeah, he
So
did.
before you pull him, go ahead and hold on. Before you pull him, any friends within 6 inches that are not engaged need to take a morale check or run away because he died. This is International Women's Day all over again.
This really is.
The last time we played Freeblades together was on International Women's Day, and Brie was playing an all-women faction, and she could not roll to save her life, and was just getting rolled over, and everybody was running, and it was really ironic, and happy International Women's Day become a running gaming commentary in our house since then.
Mostly it just means that Chris has won horribly.
All right, so who are you rolling for?
I'll roll for the slinger first.
Okay, so she's a D6.
Yes.
Looking for a 4 or better. She spikes it. Rolled again. She spikes it. Rolled again. So she has a 16. That beats what she needed by 10. There is no specific critical effect of passing a morale check, so she generates a Fate Stone.
Ooh, go me!
That gives her a token that lets her and only her re-roll a single die at some points. That's pretty awesome.
That works.
Then who are you doing next?
We'll do the Bear Mystic.
You are within 6 of your Wolf Carl.
Wolf Carl, so I can use his D10.
He should be a D12. He's a leader.
Is he a D12? Wolf Carl. Wolf Carl! Yes, he is. D12. Alright. Don't often get to use that one.
No, it's, well, when leaders do stuff.
I don't have a D12.
You don't have a D12?
Oh, I do. It's right in my hand. I'm dumb.
Well done.
That's a
Oh,
one.
no.
That is a
Unbelievable.
one. My Mystic is
So
running.
the Bear Mystic is fleeing. So she is going to roll a D4 and add her speed and head that way directly away from the source of the panic. And that's a 2.
That's a 2.
So she's going to go 9 inches directly away from the source. The source is this guy.
Yep.
And you will kind of go around that.
Yep.
Unbelievable. We'll just put a little arrow saying that she's going the way that's not the way she should be. And then you've got your leader himself.
Now hold on. I got just checking with the Wolf Carl that he doesn't have.
I think your faction ability gives you extra discipline.
One disla
in combat.
while engaged. Yeah.
So your Wolf Carl needs to roll now.
And does my Proven also need to roll?
No, he's engaged.
Okay, he's engaged.
Yeah,
So
him and the Rustler are getting married in the spring.
That's great.
They're engaged.
That's good. Okay. I need my D12 to do something better.
Don't do what my D... Oh, no! You know why this happened, right? Because you laughed at my Black Rose when she failed her fear. That's why this happened. This has been 4, on both sides 2, total of 4 in this game, morale checks that should not have failed that have. Unbelievable.
Where'd my D4 go?
Unbelievable.
Where'd my D4 go?
Unclear.
Wasn't it?
It's right here. Oh, it made its way behind a shed.
Oh. Okay.
Wow. So now that's the type of roll that does not spike.
Yeah.
So he's just going to run 10 inches, again, from the source.
I almost fell over.
You did. That was pretty good.
I'm so struck
I don't know what's better, Brie almost falling over mid-game or Chris being a lumberjack earlier.
Okay.
I can't believe your leader just ran.
Yeah.
I love this game because you never know what's about to happen.
That's not great.
And we'll put a little token next to him to show that he is indeed a coward. And go ahead and pull the Berserker. He is off to the next world.
I'm just reading real quick to make sure.
Brie is over here studying her cards to see if there's any way she can put him back on the table with that. Oh, no, bring him back. You're a +1 for being a leader.
I am at +1 for being a
leader. For being a leader. Bring him back. You're right. And he was more over here.
Yeah. No, he was not. He was like right there.
Okay, that's fine. I was trying to give you a free charge lane to my wizard, but I guess not.
No, I don't want the free charge lane. I'm going to kill the thing.
So that was a big screw up on our part. Ignore that. Go ahead and pull the Berserker and all his associated tokens. He is off to the next world. And that resolves this combat. We still have 2 more combats to do this turn, Brie. What do you want to do next? Do you want to do the Unproven and the Rustler, or do you want to do the Grush?
Let's do the Unproven and the Rustler.
All right, so
let's just kill everything
that
matters to me right now.
I'm okay with that. So we'll do the Rustler.
Would you stop wrecking your
I am. I'm
table?
pushing all my terrain over here. Well, you wrecked your farmland again.
But it's because I'm leaning into it. I'm intense.
So the Rustler's going to go first. He has a whip and he has a broadsword.
Broadsword.
Because he's playing Hero Quest. Broadsword. You guys remember that commercial? You know, I just something just occurred to me. My hand's kind of been over the microphone this whole time. I hope we can hear any of this. If you can't hear any of this, why are you still watching? All right, so he does have a whip which has Quick Strike and Entangle. The Quick Strike actually strikes at 1 higher discipline level. And that actually matters because if it hits you, it could entangle you. So let's start with the whip. It is a D8 to hit. And I don't know what your defense is, but it's probably higher than 3.
It is.
I think it's a 5.
It is a 5.
So it doesn't matter. So let's go to the broadsword, rolling a D8. Oh, that's a 2. Combined, I got a 5. Okay, stab me, unproven.
All right, here he goes. Here he goes. Ta-da! That's a 4.
That is a hit.
Ho-ho!
Armor value is 3.
I don't know why I just sounded like Mickey Mouse.
I know, what's that? Oh, watch out for the spears! Ho-ho!
All right, here we go. D8. That's a 2.
That is a 2. I am armor 3.
Okay.
So the Rustler actually survives because the unproven is terrible and will never be proven. That charge token goes away. That fight continues because nobody actually won that fight because nobody caused any life points of damage. Oh, crap. There's one more thing I was actually allowed to do over here. I'm not going to do it because I forgot. But just to tell the peoples, when that combat ended, since
that's true.
Since he was no longer engaged, I could have repositioned up to 3 inches, and that can be into combat. I could have walked into your slinger. I forgot to do it, so it's gone. Opportunity lost. We got one more fight left to do here, Brie.
Yeah. All right. We're doing.
So our combat order will be the charger.
Yep.
And then all 3 of these will be simultaneous because they're all discipline D10. Let me make sure it's discipline D10 on that guy. Yes, he is. Okay, so the Rose goes first, and then everybody else will be simultaneous. So the Rose is a D12 plus 1, but in this game, she's a D6 plus 1 because I failed a fear check, and I'm bad at life. I'm looking for a 4 or better. That's a 3 plus 1. That's a 4.
There you go.
That's a 4. That's a hit. She is a D8 plus 1 damage, so it's a D8 plus 2 because she charged. That is a 5, so that does a point of damage. The Grush needs to take a Die Hard check, and if he fails, we will actually kill the Grush on the bandit side.
On 10?
You roll a 10, you need a 7 or higher.
That's a 1.
That's a Tarch.
That's a Tarch.
That is the 6th damage to the Grush. That will actually kill the Grush and end that combat. That will bring us to the end of the turn.
Does that mean that the 2 who haven't attacked yet can...
Well, they're not touching anybody anymore.
Yeah.
So there's nobody left for them to fight. And I think, since there's no other fights to occur, because if there were, for example, if we still had stuff on the table going on, other fights that could make one of us break, we'd want to resolve them. Oh, that was a weird noise. I just breathed in like a bubble of air. Oh, what was that? I think I just died. So let's pull up the scenario real quick here. And it doesn't end instantly. So I want to emphasize the only reason we're saying this is probably the end is because there's nothing left to do on this turn. So the turn would be coming to a natural resolution. We go to the end phase of the turn, and we figure out what's going on here. And the game ends at the conclusion of an end phase if any of the following are true. Only one side has an unbroken free brand, or all free brands are broken. Neither one of us is broken.
Nope.
The time limit has been reached. We didn't really put a time limit on this game. And all beasts have been dropped. So the beast has been dropped, so the game ends. The side that drops the last undropped beast is the winner.
Well, congratulations, you win.
Well, thank you. The bandits steal a weird beast hunting victory. This is a big thing for us. We have never finished a beast hunt where the beast actually died.
That's true. Most of the time.
We always end up killing each other until somebody breaks and the beast just runs amok and attacks the whole table.
Yes, that is legit.
This has never happened before.
No.
This is a first at Tony Entertainment.
Hey!
I hope you enjoyed the game of Freeblades we just played. Bree, do you have anything that you really need to after action for the people? There's not a lot to after action other than Freeblades. Absolutely wonderful game made by DGS Games. Go to dgsgames.com to learn more about the game. This is basically the only game I've ever played that has a true living rulebook. The rulebook costs $10 from their website to download. Every update they do on it from the time you purchase it is 100% free. You never have to pay for it again. If you are able to reach out to a local quest store in your area, they will be happy to sit down and play a demo with you. And to sit down and play a demo with you, teach you how to play, get you in their community. It is a growing community. Every major convention that happens, more and more people are getting into this game. It is an absolutely wonderful game. If you are in the greater Tampa Bay area, feel free to contact us in the comments or join our Discord because I am a questor located out of that area.
Yep.
And I will be happy to get together with you and play some Freeblades with you at one of the local shops in the area.
And the other big one is if you happen to be a hardcore nerd like Chris and I and are making the mecha trek to Indianapolis in August, hit us up because we will be there and we will both have our Freeblade stuff with us because we love Freeblades and John and the group of DGS is going to be there. So we're looking forward to the tournament that I'm sure is going to happen at Gen Con.
Yep, I don't think we've decided if we're going to enter into it or not yet. Yep. It's going to depend on what other events are going on that day.
Yeah, I might need to go learn belly dancing again.
Yes, so there's I want to get involved in the tournament. I would. I need to see when it's happening and what else is going on that day because we only have 4 days in Gen Con.
But if you're there maybe one night late, hit us up. Maybe we can find some place to throw down a table and play a game real quick.
And if you don't have Freeblades, John and the crew at DGS will be happy to show you a demo at Gen Con, or hit us up in the comments or on our Discord. We'd be happy to meet up with you at Gen Con, bring some figs, and show you a demo as well.
Or maybe just tell us if you're going to be at Gen Con.
And just hang out with us.
Hang out with us. We love to meet the people who are actually watching these videos.
We'll also be at MegaCon Orlando in May, so feel free to contact us if you're going to be in the area for that. But yeah, check out...
There'll be parents there.
Yeah.
So...
Check out dgsgames.com. Go to the Facebook, Freeblades Players. There's also a Freeblades Players Discord. You can find Freeblades on World Anvil to see all the lore for the game.
Yeah, and there's lots. John's always writing.
There's just so many good things I can say about this game, and I could gush for the rest of the day about this. So check this game out. We're going to be doing more Freeblades battle reports in the future. And like I said, if you're in the greater Tampa Bay area, reach out. If you're going to be in Indianapolis at Gen Con, reach out. We'd love to hear from you. That's basically all I have to say here. Bree, where are you at?
Happy International Women's Day.
All right, well, like and subscribe for more content. Hit that bell button for notification. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll be turning to the Cube of Fate more often to determine what battle report we're going to do. I think probably the future of this channel is going to be... I'm hitting lights. The future of this battle is going to be more battle report heavy. There's only so many things I can paint before people get bored and go away. So we're going to see more games of Freeblades and Star Wars Legion and the one-page rules stuff. And any other game we feel like playing, we may stream some playing of some Hero Quest scenarios.
Batman. You may have to watch us either play Batman or...
Marvel Crisis Protocol. We got a lot of games coming up. We're going to use the Cube of Fate more often to determine. I would love to eventually get to a one-a-week battle report schedule. We'll see what happens.
We could have a Wheel of Fate.
A Wheel of... Oh, God. Wheel of battles. Turn. Tell us the blood we have to earn. Thanks for watching, guys.